Hello, Hannah the Suburban Witch here, and today we are on episode 5 of my psychic development series. Today we are working on the psychic sense of clairalience. In today's video, we'll be going over what is clairalience, some herbs and crystals you can use to help develop this psychic sense, as well as a development exercise. If you're new to my channel, I'm Hannah the Suburban Witch, an intuitive tarot reader and astrologer, and I love bringing my witchy content to you all here on YouTube. I release a video every second week, so hit subscribe so you never miss one. If you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm also on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, and now on Pinterest. So what is clairalience? Well, clear smelling. Now, this is not one of the common ones. We are getting further and further away from the ones that people often have coming up. So this is not one that I get commonly. However, it was the first psychic sense to really present itself to me as a psychic sense, okay? I'm going to give you a little bit of a story here so you can see some of the ways that spirit brings through these messages through the different senses and why. Quite a few years ago now, I went on a ghost tour of a place called the Arrowdale Asylum, which is out in Victoria, rural Victoria, Australia. Now, this was a nighttime tour. I think it started around 8 or 9 p.m. and it went till about 2 a.m. This is a massive property. We went through all the different wards, that sort of thing. We did hear some ghostly footsteps or some other cool stuff that happened. But one of the most significant was something that just happened to me personally. Now, we walked into this, it looks like a standard house, so with lots of different houses and rooms and things on the grounds. This was like a really old house. We walked down the hallway, and as soon as I walked in, I just said, oh my goodness, did they used to keep horses in here or something? All I can smell is hay or straw, like that smell of a horse stable. And everyone's sort of looking at me like, this doesn't look like a place where they would have kept horses. This is not a stable. The other look was, you know, this was a long time ago. I'm sure that smell wouldn't still be here, but it was so visceral, so strong to me. We walked into a room. I was almost bowled over by how strong this scent was to me. Can't you smell that? That hay straw smell? And I'm looking at my husband, who was then just my boyfriend. Can't you smell this? What? No one else? It was really shocking. No one else could smell this. Now, I don't have a particularly strong sense of smell normally, so I was very confused. Anyway, the guide then steps up and says, now that's very interesting that you say that, because this was actually where they performed all of the lobotomies. Horrible things, I know. And he said what they did was, because they didn't have running water, they would actually fill the floor with straw, hay, that sort of thing, so it would soak up the blood and they could just push it out at the end of the day. Now, why did spirit use this sense? Why did it use my sense of smell? Well, thankfully I didn't smell the scent of blood, because I think that would have been quite icky. That wouldn't have been a nice experience at all. I didn't see all of the blood there. That would have also shocked me. Remember, this was the first time one of my psychic sense was really making itself known, but it had to do so in a way that would make me go, whoa, hang on a minute. I'm experiencing something that I cannot possibly explain away any other way. But they wanted to do it in a way that didn't frighten me. So if I'd heard the lobotomies going on with my clairaudience, that would have been terrifying. If I'd seen the blood, or if I'd smelt even just the blood, I wouldn't have wanted to feel anything in my body either. So for them, for my guides, my spirit team, this was the best way to get a message through to me that would not frighten me. Smelling hay was not frightening, but it really stuck with me, and it has stuck with me to this day. Since then, I haven't really actually had this sense crop up very much. I'm currently doing some mediumship development. I'm part of a circle, so I'm really interested to see if that comes through in that way, because often mediums are the ones that use this sense the most, rather than someone who is purely psychic. So a psychic medium may use scent to describe things like, oh, I'm smelling cigarette smoke. Your grandfather, father, mother, whoever is on the other side was a smoker. Or they might smell something like, oh, I'm smelling lavender. They really loved lavender. They had lots of lavender around their home. They may smell their perfume, their cooking, all sorts of things that bring back these visceral memories for us. Due to this sense not being as common, it's not commonly taught, it's not commonly spoken about, there actually isn't a lot of information out there on how to develop it specifically. It is related to the root chakra and the throat chakra, so crystals that relate to those, herbs that relate to those are going to help. But one I think specifically can help, and the one that I'm guided to explain to you guys today, is mugwort. Now again, if you are pregnant, you want to steer very clear of mugwort. Make a tea from it, a little ritual tea, and put the intent out there that you're trying to develop this sense specifically, because mugwort is really good for just psychic development in general. It's going to open up all of your senses, but you need to put the intent there that you're using this for your clairalience specifically. Now, the crystals to help with this sense are blue calcite and red garnet. Definitely not to be used together. They don't really feel like they gel together. Actually, even holding them feels almost like they're pushing back. They're very, very different energies. Red garnet is very, very strong. It is related to your root chakra, your base chakra. And then your throat chakra is related with this blue calcite, right? It's a very gentle stone. This is a gentle, soft energy, very down with communication, that sort of thing, and opening up this space. So choose whichever one feels right to you and utilize that with the intent of opening your clairalience. Now we have 3 mini steps to our development today. The first one is I'm going to smell 2 different scents, and I'm going to try and communicate that through to you, and I want you to try and pick up on it. Try and see if you can smell anything, or if, you know, even if your other senses kick in, that's fine. We're just still learning, okay? The last one, I'm not going to smell anything. I'm going to try and recall a memory. I'm going to see if you guys can smell anything around me, in my room, that sort of thing. Are you ready? Let's go. Take a deep breath. Start tuning in. I can start smelling this already. Can you smell anything? Even if you are tuning into my energy psychically, what are you getting off me? What am I sending out there? What is the smell that I am experiencing right now? Tuning into what I am holding here. Now, that was clove. Quite a strong smell. Beautiful whole cloves here. Sealed up in a jar for a little while, which makes them smell even stronger when you open it. Did you get it? This next one. Again, a very strong smell, a little bit trickier. This is not a common one that people would be saying, you know, can you smell this scent? Technically, it's not a scent, although it does smell. This is actually my lecithin tablets. They smell horrible. The smell when I open it is always and I don't even want to taste. I don't want to put it in my mouth. I just get it down as quick as possible. Now this, honestly, it just smells like tablets. It's that tablety smell, right? So see if you got anything that made you feel like that or made you sort of go back a little bit. It's not a pleasant smell. Now for the last part of this exercise, I want you to just tune into my energy. I'm going to be thinking of a specific scent that I know, but you know, there might be something else. Now this is a really good one if done in, say, a psychic development circle where everybody tunes into one particular person and says a word or writes down a word that relates to their sense of smell that they pick up on from this person. It can be really interesting because sometimes everyone gets a similar vibe from that person, even though it might not be related to their perfume or anything like that. Maybe it's the way, you know, there's a certain color that their aura is, and that's the way that color smells to those people. There's lots of different ways these things can come through and reasons for it too. All right, so take a deep breath. This one's a little bit trickier, and let's just see what you get. Okay, what did you smell? Did you smell anything? Did your other senses kick in? I'll let you know what I was thinking about, which was valerian root. Now, if you've smelt that, that is very, very much like smelly feet. So you may have also smelt smelly feet or something similar. It does have a very earthy smell and almost a touch of peppermint in there. It's a little bit like a minty, earthy foot smell. So if you've got any of those, then that is you clicking in with your Clairalience. There may be some other scents that you've picked up on as well. There is a plate of lemons next to me as part of working that I'm doing. So that could be something that you've picked on, the scent of citrus. Nearby, I also have some lavender, some rosemary. There are a ton of herbs in this room. And I'm looking at the jasmine behind the camera as well. It keeps catching my eye. So you may have smelt some of those also. I am not wearing any perfume or oils or anything like that today. So if you're picking up on any smells like that, potentially that could be something, maybe someone in spirit from me that you're getting. Maybe there's a little bit of mediumistic skills there for you. Or it could just be my laundry detergent. So I hope you enjoyed this exercise. It's a little bit different. Let me know in the comments below, what did you get? What did you pick up on? How did it feel for you doing this and using this particular sense? As always, I look forward to chatting with you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.